Who's buying houses in this housing affordability crisis? Give me a break. Who in the world can afford to buy a home nowadays? This past year set new records of home sales, and it's not what you think either, or what you've been told in mainstream media. I would even venture to say that most real estate agents don't even know who's been buying homes in the past year. So why is it so important to know? Well, if you're wanting to buy a home and all you've heard is home prices are only going to go up, or better buy now before it's too late or you're wasting your money on rent. Give me a break. Home buyers, you need to know who's buying homes now, because I promise you it will make most of you feel much better. And if you're trying to sell your home right now and it's not selling, or you're about to sell your home within, let's say, the next 6 months, you really need to know who's buying homes now. If you're new to our channel, I'm Todd Sachs, a Maryland real estate broker, and my job is to keep you informed on what's going on in the real estate market, real boots on the ground. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, now would be a good time to do so, and hit that alert bell so you're notified when we post important updates like this. So to find out who's buying homes during one of the worst housing markets we've seen since World War II, we'll turn to the National Association of Realtors' recent report, the 2024 Profile of Home Buyers and Sellers. I'll point out the highlights to save you a lot of time, but if you'd like to read it yourself, I published a link in the show notes below. This annual NAR report has been published since 1981. This is for home sale transactions from July of 2023 to June of 2024. I apologize that this is backward-looking data, but I promise you this information is golden to anyone wanting to buy or sell a home right now. If you needed a mortgage, home buyers who purchased in the last year encountered mortgage interest rates that averaged 7.02% and reached a peak of 7.79% before easing. Now, before you say, that's crazy, listen, 7% is not a bad mortgage rate historically. In this Fred chart that dates back to 1971, you can see that we've never seen mortgage rates like we've had from 2009 through March of 2022. For literally 13 years, the rates were artificially low, due primarily from the Fed buying mortgage-backed securities. This was a major cause of skyrocketing home prices. And from about July of 2020 through February of 2021, look at this. Mortgage rates fell below 3% for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. Look at this chart, guys. Falling mortgage rates since 1981. Cheap financing made prices skyrocket. Now, that's a surprise. Why was this even allowed? Now what? Make cheap financing forever? That's impossible. First-time home buyers, where did you all go? First-time home buyers in the last year shrunk to a historic low of 24% of all buyers. Prior to 2008, the share of first-time home buyers had a historical norm of 40%. First-time home buyers' median age reached an all-time high of 38 years old, and in the 1980s, a typical first-time home buyer was in their 20s. How about repeat buyers? Repeat buyers can enter the housing market with large down payments. The median was 23%, and 31% paid cash and did not finance their home. Now, taking a look at the repeat buyers' median down payment amount of 23% is the highest down payment since 2003. Repeat buyers also have the highest median age seen in the report's history of 61. 61 years old, the average median repeat buyer, guys, as half of these repeat home buyers are over the age of 61. Among all home buyers, 62% are married couples, 20% are single women, and 8% are single men. So look at this. Multigenerational living remains popular with an all-time high of 17% of all buyers purchasing a home that will house different generations. This really tells us something here. I mean, 17% of all homes bought in the last year were for multi-generational living. To give you an example, what that means is parents and grandparents are buying or helping to buy the home, and everyone's living together. Friends, this is a really big number. It was also found that 80% of home buyers purchased their homes through a real estate agent or broker. Honestly, I feel like this number is dropping over the years and will probably drop even more. Now, earlier I mentioned that the median age for first-time homebuyers was 38 years old. But look here, overall, the ages of homebuyers reached all-time highs. The median buyer age increased to a peak of 56 years old, up from 49 last year. So there really is no surprise with the unaffordability that the age of all home buyers has gone up. The share of married couples increased to 62% of all buyers. The share of single females slightly increased to 20%, and the share of single males decreased to 8%. The share of unmarried couples also decreased this year to 6%. It's not hard to understand that with today's home prices, it's almost impossible for a single income household to buy a home. And not just that, 73% of recent buyers did not have a child under the age of 18 in their home. This is the highest share recorded. So what were the characteristics of the homes purchased in the last year? 15% of buyers purchased a new home and 85% of buyers purchased a previously owned home. Buyers typically purchased a home that was built in 1994. This is a rebound after the last 2 years where buyers typically purchased a home built in the 1980s. This is kind of interesting to me because open floor plans began in the 1990s, so fewer walls encouraging a more social environment. This may be an interesting fact to you sellers if you've been trying unsuccessfully to sell your chopped up floor plan. If that's the case, it may be worth looking into removing a wall or two. Detached single-family homes continued to be the most common home type for recent buyers at 75%, followed by townhouses or row houses at 7%. Recent buyers typically purchased a home that was 1,900 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So let's look at some of the profiles of the sellers. The typical age of home sellers was 63 this year and is the highest ever recorded. 18% of home sellers purchased a home in another region to the one they sold. 66% of home sellers moved within the same state and 16% remained in the same region. For all sellers, time on the market this year was a median of 3 weeks, 1 week longer than last year. And right now, the days on the market is some of the highest we've seen in years, and same with the percentages of price reductions nationwide. 90% of sellers sold with the assistance of a real estate agent, up from 89% last year. And only 6% were for sale by owners, at an all-time low. So despite all the hoopla in the news about real estate agents and all the lawsuits, y'all are still using real estate agents. So along the line of that, this is really interesting to me. 81% of recent sellers contacted only one agent before finding the right agent they worked with to sell their home. So the sellers are not interviewing agents. 81% of you only interview one agent and they were the right one? Interesting. What would it be like if all of the employers in the U.S. only interviewed one applicant for a position? Hey guys, you can fog a mirror so you're hired. If you're a beat-up home buyer pushed around by the market over the last few years, try to digest some of these facts and realize you're not alone. Stay positive. Homeownership will be achievable for you one day. And reach out to me and let's talk about a good plan for you to follow, even if you're not in Maryland. I'm here to guide you. If you're a seller, understand who the buyers are in this highly unaffordable housing market. Maybe make a few changes to your home and make it more desirable to the buyers' profiles that seem to be the ones buying the homes. I think you should find this information golden. Thanks, guys, for watching. And if you liked the video, you can let me know that you did by smashing that thumbs up button. And share this video with anyone you think it might benefit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Sachs Realty, Maryland broker number 607720, office number 443-318-4514, equal housing opportunity.